Samsung's latest foldables are already out, but not everyone is into foldable phones. For those waiting on the next Galaxy S flagship, the spotlight is now shifting to the Galaxy S26 series, which is expected to launch in early 2026 if Samsung sticks to its usual release schedule. And this time, Samsung might shake things up by launching not 3, but 4 different models. That fourth option could be the Galaxy S26 Edge. Rumors suggest it may replace the Plus model depending on how the S25 Edge performs in the market. Right now, reports indicate the Edge hasn't been selling too well, but Samsung might give it another shot. Another surprise could be the base model being replaced entirely with a Galaxy S26 Pro. This Pro model is tipped to feature a slightly bigger 6.27-inch display and a 4,300 mAh battery, 300 mAh more than the Galaxy S25. As for performance, the Galaxy S26 lineup will, of course, be powered by new processors. The Snapdragon 8 Elite's successor is expected to run the Galaxy S26 Ultra and the Edge models globally. Meanwhile, the base models, S26, S26 Pro, and S26 Plus, will likely use a mix of Snapdragon in regions like the US, Canada, and China, while the rest of the world gets Samsung's own Exynos chips. The only question is whether Samsung will go with the Exynos 2500, which launched with the Z Flip 7, or push further with the 2nm-based Exynos 2600. When it comes to memory and storage, Samsung is raising the bar once again. Expect 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage as the new standard, with higher options like 512GB and even 1TB available. The Ultra variant may even pack faster LPDDR5X RAM, delivering speeds of up to 10.7GB/s, which is around 25% faster than the Galaxy S25 Ultra's memory. One area where Samsung seems to be doubling down is design. This year, the company has been working hard to make its phones thinner and lighter, and the Galaxy S26 series should continue that trend. The S26 Ultra could slim down to under 7mm, which would make it one of the thinnest premium flagships Samsung has ever released. Meanwhile, the S26 Edge is rumored to come in at just 5.5mm thick, while still packing a 14,200 mAh battery. That's possible thanks to higher density battery cells, even though Samsung hasn't yet switched over to silicon carbon batteries. Of course, thinner designs don't mean huge changes in overall looks. Samsung wants to keep the Galaxy identity intact. Expect aluminum frames on the base and Plus models, titanium frames on the Ultra and Edge, and the same clean glass backs with independent camera modules, except for the Edge, which will have its own unique camera layout. Speaking of cameras, 2026 may not be the year for big upgrades across the board. The S24 Ultra introduced a 5x telephoto camera, while the S25 Ultra brought in a sharper 50-megapixel ultra-wide. But the base and Plus models have been using the same rear camera setup for years, and it doesn't look like Samsung is planning to change that yet. The S26 and S26 Pro will get a new primary sensor, but it'll still be 50 megapixels. The Edge will likely stick to its 200-megapixel main camera. The Ultra, however, is tipped to use Samsung's ISOCELL HP2 200-megapixel sensor with a larger aperture, which could dramatically improve low-light performance. Battery performance is another area where Samsung may introduce changes. The S26 Edge could gain a slight boost with its new 4,200 mAh cell, while the Ultra might stick to the familiar 5,000 mAh capacity. The real story here is charging speed. Rumors suggest Samsung could finally bring 60 watts or even 65-watt fast charging to the Ultra, getting you to 80% in just half an hour. That's a major improvement over the 45-watt speeds we've seen in the past. On the wireless side, Samsung may also add magnets for Qi2 wireless charging, improving alignment and efficiency, although this might come at the cost of losing reverse wireless charging. Software is where Samsung could make things even more interesting. The S26 series will ship with Android 16 and One UI 8.5, packed with new Galaxy AI features. Google Gemini has already replaced both Assistant and Bixby as the main digital assistant on current Samsung devices. But reports suggest Samsung may not stop there. The company is rumored to be in talks to invest in Perplexity AI, a competitor to ChatGPT, and could bring it as an alternative assistant on the Galaxy S26. That means multiple AI assistants coexisting on the same device, something that hasn't really been done before at this scale. In terms of pricing, Samsung usually keeps things steady year over year, so you can expect the Galaxy S26 series to cost about the same as the S25 lineup. However, ongoing trade policies in the US could push prices slightly higher depending on how tariffs play out in 2025. So to sum it all up, the Galaxy S26 series could launch with up to 4 models: slimmer designs, upgraded processors, faster memory, and potentially much faster charging. Cameras won't see big changes except on the Ultra, which may finally take low-light photography to another level. On the software side, AI will play a huge role, possibly with multiple assistants working side by side. Pricing should remain similar to the S25 lineup, though that could change depending on global trade shifts. If all of this holds true, the Galaxy S26 is shaping up to be one of Samsung's most ambitious flagship lineups yet. And as always, the Ultra looks like it'll be the one to beat in 2026.